Hello and welcome to the New England College of Business Student Portal and NECB Library Training. Today, you will be learning how to use Canvas and get a 101 tutorial that will cover how to navigate Canvas, log on to Canvas, edit your profile, modify your notification settings, locate due dates, access all your readings, lectures, and multimedia, as well as other related topics for your course, access the NECB library, answer discussion questions, upload your assignments, and view instructor feedback. I hope that this will help you through and get you through your classes. Let's begin. So, when logging into New England College of Business, you want to ensure that you go to https://portal.necb.edu. Here, you will use your username given to you upon your registration. For example, we will type in b.gonzalez at 9552 at necb.edu. And then you will enter your password here and go ahead and hit login. Once you've logged in, you will see your student portal access here. It's going to give you a breakdown of the different courses that you are already enrolled in, and of course allow you access to your courses. To access your courses and begin your learning process, you will access it here at A+ My Courses or through the My Courses button tab here. Once you hit this button, it will bring you to your dashboard. And here you will be able to access all of your classes as well as the other necessary things that you need when working with Canvas. Let's begin with our account. Here we can access our account where you can see account, and here it will have availability for you to put a picture. To edit your profile, you're going to go to Profile, and in the right-hand corner, you hit Edit Profile. Here, you can edit your name, make sure if you have a title that you would like to include, as well as a short biography. You can also add links, for example, to your LinkedIn page if you'd like. Once you have made all the necessary changes, you hit Save Profile. Now, let's begin with changing our picture. Here, if we go over the little picture bubble, you will see a little pencil come up and it says click to change profile picture. Go ahead and click that and upload the picture that you would like. You can even take a picture if you have the ability to with your laptop or cell phone. And once you choose that, you would hit save. Now, let's go into this notification settings. This is very important, especially when conducting classes, that you want to make sure you get all the necessary information you need. So we'll hit notifications, and it's going to bring up our preferences. Here we see notify me right away with a check mark, a little clock that says send me daily summary, a calendar that says send weekly summary, or an X for do not send me anything. So if we look here, we have a due date, and it has a weekly summary, but we're going to go ahead and change that to notify me right away. That way, if there's ever any changes to a due date, I will immediately see that change. Here, and you can see that those notifications are sent to the email address b.gonzalez9552 at necb.edu. We can also go ahead and make some changes here. Let's say we don't want to have Blueprint Sync and submission content as notifications. Let's go ahead and click X on both of these. Once we've done that, we can go to the bottom. Now that we have all our changes, and it actually automatically updates your changes so that you don't have to worry about missing anything. Now, for example, let's say we have a conversation that we want to get a weekly summary of. So here we have send me a notification right away. Let's go ahead and change that to added to conversation to a weekly summary. Okay, and so here we also see that the push notification is for all devices. So it doesn't matter if you're on your PC, it's going to go to all of your devices that you have if you have the little check mark. Now if you click the X, you won't get it to all your devices, just through your PC. Now that we've gone through the Canvas 101 navigation of Canvas as well as log on, the editing of profile, and modifying your notifications, let's go down through how you'll actually use your dashboard and go work through your classes. So up here to our left hand side, let's go ahead and hit dashboard. Here, you'll be able to access your classes, an e-library overview, as well as the Student Resource Center. However, for the sake of training, let's go ahead and access our HRM 540 class so that you can see while you would navigate your class. Here, you can see the main page of your course. In this, we get a course summary, and this is going to give us a breakdown of assignments due, at the date that they're due. So for example, the class introductions were due October 2nd, 2018, and they were due by 6 a.m. However, you can also find these due dates over on the right-hand side under To Do, which will give you a good idea of what's due recently. Another way to access your due dates and ensure that you have a very good understanding of what's due and when is to access your syllabus, which you can click on here. It is usually at the top of the class where it gives you a brief class introduction. So if you click on this here, you will see that below we have the syllabus beginning to load. We will open it. And you also have access to due dates this way when you roll through your syllabus. For example, let's use Week 1, Discussion 1, which was due October 4th, 2018 at 6 a.m. as an example. We're going to go ahead and click on this, and when we open it, we will see that Week 1, Discussion 1 is due October 4th at 6 a.m. Here, you can go ahead and begin to reply and use the discussion board to access it. Now that we know how to locate due dates, let's go ahead and see how we would access our lectures, multimedia, and other aspects that we need to use when studying for courses. On your left-hand side, you will see modules, and this is where you're going to locate things like your lectures and multimedia, as well as access to reading assignments. Now that we've opened up our modules page, we will see that there is a course overview under Project Notes and Resources, which gives you access to a better understanding of what we will go ahead and get for this course. So let's open the welcome letter from the faculty member. Here we can see a brief biography, contact information, and an About the Class section for the course HRM 540, which is a great tool to utilize when taking your course and ensuring that you have all the contact information necessary to talk with your professor. Now let's go back to modules and work on the lectures and multimedia process. In week 1, we can see that there's several areas that we can look at here to access content. First, we have our Academic and Honesty Integrity Agreement, which we'll click on as it was an assignment. Here, you can see that the assignment was submitted and that it was completed. Let's go back to modules and access the lecture. Under week 1, you'll see that there's a week 1 lecture, Talent Management, the Big Picture. When accessing your lectures, you want to make sure that you verify that you're in the correct week. So for example, there's 5 weeks in this course. We can go all down to week 2 and week 3. So let's say we want to look at week 3 lecture. Notice here we see that there are 2 lectures. Let's click lecture 2. In lecture 2, we see a nice access to the video where we can actually click and listen to the video, as well as the source that it was taken from and where we'd find access to the transcript in case you don't have enough time to take those notes and you think you don't have enough time to write quickly. No worries, you have a nice link here to find your transcript. Let's go back to modules. And let's say we're looking for week 2's readings. So we're going to scroll down to our week 2, which was onboarding, engagement, and reviews. Go to readings. And here we can find a nice sectioned out in onboarding, transition, and engagement. So not only is there access to or a breakdown of what readings there are for the week, you also have it by section of what you're learning. So it's very helpful and a great tool to utilize. Another aspect I like to point out is if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see a previous and next button. So let's say you finished the readings for the week and now you want to see what there is next to do. You would just hit the next button, and here you are, week 2, lecture 1. Now that you have reading and a good rundown of what you will be learning about, here is a video of the lecture for you to access. Now let's say, however, you watch the video and you still have some questions or would like to reread a topic. No worries, you can just hit the previous button and you'll be back on that readings page for you to access. Now that we have a really good understanding of how to access our tools within the course itself, let's say we needed some additional help and some additional reading on this topic, or we'd like to use the library for our discussions and assignments that we will go over further in the video. We will access NECB library. So when accessing the library, it's going to be very simple. You're going to go to your left-hand side and you'll see NECB e-library right here. You'll just click on that. And it's going to actually open a new tab for you, which makes it really easy, especially when you're on those discussion pages and you want to be able to go ahead and make sure that you can easily access the content you're reading, and citing your sources makes it very simple. So as you see, there's several databases, browsing resources, tutorials, writing tools, APA resources, which really comes in handy for these courses, and of course your eLibrary home. Now let's go back to our readings, and let's say we were learning about onboarding this week and I really need to talk about that in my discussion, so I'm going to go ahead and search here in my eLibrary about onboarding. And you'll search, it's going to again open a new tab, which will make it a lot easier. Let's say, you searched onboarding, which you'll see our results pop here in just a moment. And so let's say we have onboarding here, but it's not quite, efficient enough for our sources, or we're seeing things that are unrelated. Let's say we have onboarding plus recruitment, so we can refine our search. Let's go ahead and close this window very quickly, plus recruitment. And then we can search this way. And here we go, some more. But for the sake of today's lesson, I am strictly going to search onboarding. So again, as we wait for these sources to load, there will be many times where you're searching the library, and you're going to see in a moment here that it pops up to add more results. So it looks like, oh, there's 18 additional results. Let's go ahead and add those results so we have a bigger pool of resources to search with. And then we can go ahead and start refining our search based on what we need, or maybe based on our discussion board. Maybe the assignment for the week calls for us to have a very specific topic. We can actually use the refine by over here. Let's say it's new employees. We want to focus on new employees, and we're going to do culture. So we can actually refine our sources, which will give us better resources. And also, let's say year. So here we have results coming back all the way from 2005. Typically in research, we don't want to go back that far, as you know, many updates have been made. So let's say we want to refine it to the last 3 years. We can go ahead and go back to 2015. And there we go. It has broken down those results. And now all the resources we have will be between 2015 and 18, and only deal with employers' onboarding process and culture. So again, we can click on that link. It pops up a nice new tab, which opens up to your page, and you can see the full text or abstract right here. You can begin to read the article. Let's say you wanted to save it as a PDF. You can download that to your computer and save it as a PDF. Let's say you didn't have time to read it, and maybe you won't have access later to the internet to go ahead and open up the same, article here. You can actually save that to your computer by pressing Save as PDF. It opens it up here in a Request in Progress. And you can see there's a document here for me to download. Also, another excellent tool is a citing tool. Let's say you have a little trouble with APA and you want to make sure you cite the source correctly. You can actually hit Cite, and you can change it to the APA that you need. Change, and there you go. Of course, you want to make edits based on the APA citing that is the current and standard. So make sure you are careful with that. But let's say you did want to see everything here and get the resource. There you go, easy access for you. So that is basically how you use the NECB library. So we're going to go ahead and close these tabs and move on to the next topic. So let's go ahead and talk about answering the discussions. Now that we have our article that we want to utilize, let's go to our discussions page. Now again, there's actually several ways we can access this. We're going to go home to the home page, and let's say we wanted to access week 2 discussion 3. We're here ready to get our assignment done, and we're going to look at the discussion board. There's actually an area that is typically right here, and it will say reply, and you'll just go ahead and reply to that discussion, which will allow you to make your first post. So for example, one of my classmates here, he went ahead and made his initial post, and he was able to access through the discussion page here, cite his sources, and of course begin the chain of discussions. Now, however, let's show you one other way you can actually access your page. So we did it through the home page, but now we're going to go through here on the left-hand side. You'll see discussions. You click on that, and you can easily access your discussions here as well. So let's say we're going to work on week 5, discussion 1. And here you can again see that we had access to the discussion page. Okay, now that we know how to access discussions, we know how to navigate Canvas, edit our profile, and use the NECB library, let's talk about submitting assignments. So we're actually to submit an assignment, we're going to go over here to the home page. Once we get to the home page, we're going to click and assign an area here. So let's say this week, I'm in week 1, and I have my week 1 assignment, build a competency model and career path. I'm going to click on that assignment, and up in the right-hand corner, you're going to see that this was already submitted. Okay, so you can see your submission details, but let's actually go to a different week where you can actually see the submission button. So we're going to go down here to week 5, Monday, November 5th, and we're going to go to the post-course assessment and journal entry. And here on the top right-hand corner, you're going to see submit assignment. So we're going to go ahead and click submit assignment. Okay, and here you'll see a little file upload pop up. So here you can choose a file from your system, or you can go ahead and choose file. And you'll see you have the ability to access everything here on your computer. Now let's say it was a URL. You can also copy that URL here, or authorize Google Drive access if you are using the Google Documents. You would then hit submit the assignment, and then you can go ahead and have that done for the week. And now that you have submitted your assignment, let's say you wanted to go ahead and make sure that you can understand your feedback. So there's several ways you can actually see your feedback. So for example, the first way is to go to the home page, go to the assignment itself that you know has already been here and graded. And let's go ahead and click week 1 assignment, build a competency model and career path. Here we see it was actually uploaded, and we can actually see the submission details. Here you can see that there was a feedback on the grade. You can show the rubric, so you can see how you did compared to the rubric given by the instructor. So for example, here we see that we got 45 points out of 45 in this section. However, right here we got 30 points out of 35, and we can see how that affects the grade completely. Now, if you're also wanting to see the feedback from the instructor, you can actually click on the assignment, it will open it, and many times there will be comments from the instructor in this feedback or in the document uploaded. So let's see how this opens. Just give it one moment. And here you can enable editing, and if you scroll through, if comments were left by the professor, you will see that comments, the little comment bubbles will be added. Now let's go through the other way in which you can actually see feedback. So here you can access it through grades on your left hand side. And once this opens, you can see the assignment, when it was due, the score that you received, and the points it was out of. So for example, for that same week 1 assignment, we see we got a 95 out of 100, but let's say I wanted to see the actual comments from the teacher. You can see here there's little comment bubbles. You go ahead and click on that, and we can see that the feedback is here from the professor, and we can also go ahead and see other aspects here as well. So here we click on the see scoring details. We can actually see for the class, where maybe you're thinking, oh, this is a really bad grade, I'm not happy with it. How did I compare to the class? Where am I? What kind of help might I need from the instructor or my classmates even? Maybe I can find my study buddy and kind of get an idea that I need to study a little more in this area or ask for help. Lastly, you can also access the rubric here. And as we see, we get a breakdown of that rubric once again. And of course, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can actually see your total grade and a breakdown of how everything's graded. And if you scroll to the top, you also see the weight of your grades. So for example, discussions are 30%, assignments 30, journal entries 20, your final project 10. So you can see that how your grades will affect you overall. Now that we understand how to use Canvas, I hope this 101 tutorial has helped you and will aid you in your course. Please feel free to leave feedback.